Hi there, I'm Bokeri, the developer of Oaken Tower, a PvP auto-battler on Steam. For those of you who don't know, in Oaken Tower, your items will fight the enemy automatically. This is inspired by games like Backpack Battles or The Bazaar, where your items will also fight automatically against other players. And yeah, there are also ways to completely break the game.
What the fuck?
This Doom Guide is an atomic bomb.
73x. It's still going.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Tell me this isn't the best item in the game.
Oh, sweet God.
So that can reduce the poison? Yeah, you hit me from I won.
So here's the feature that I implemented for this video, okay? You go to this screen, you press Ctrl-C to copy your build to your clipboard. Then you paste that build to some of your friends and they can copy that text. Press Ctrl-V and then they will fight your ghost. Now this feature is not on the live servers yet, but I did invite the two top players in Oaken Tower to a 1v1. This is the first time ever that a live 1v1 game has been recorded in Oaken Tower. You see, usually the game is asynchronous, which means you play against other people's ghosts. You're not going to know what you're going to be up against. But in a live 1v1, you can actually plan ahead because you know what your opponent is building. They're going for some crazy shield build? Well, build poison to counter that. Your opponent sees you're building poison to counter that, so they might build crit or some tempo build to counter your poison, and so on. Alright guys, welcome to the 1v1. The rules are very simple. It's a best of 3, which means the first one to get 2 victories is the ultimate winner. Now this is the battle of the giants. We have Monkey versus Zev. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see these guys, how they're going to play off against each other. Obviously, they are the number 1 and number 2 on the leaderboard. Not counting Michu, of course, because Michu actually has a main account and a Smurf. And if you combine the 2 ratings, they're actually like also, I think, number 1 or number 2 even. So yeah, maybe we'll do another video of these and invite Michu, maybe do one Michu versus William or something like that. But anyway, this is the first time that these guys obviously are playing a 1v1 ever. None of them has ever tried to play a live 1v1 in Oaken Tower. And we will be switching perspectives a little bit here back and forth. Now we're watching Zev. Did pick up a day 2 2-starred Bone Club. That is crazy. For those of you who don't know, the Bone Club does get +3 attack on trigger. So this is absolutely huge. Yeah, Zev has 1 victory here for himself. Does pick the right option from the priest on day 3, which does give him a little more income. I know that the right priest option is the most popular one at the moment. Yeah, and Monkey is doing monkey things, picks up every single 15 gold item that he can find. Now, Monkey has actually been known for this strategy, picking up 15 gold items and doing crazy early game tempo. That's how he reached the number 1 spot on the leaderboard, which was recently taken by Zev. But this was a very meta thing, and I think Monkey was actually one of the guys who really defined the 15 gold meta back in the day, and made this very popular with his videos. And yeah, he's still trying to do this. He did tell me that he hadn't played for a while and was actually not that familiar with many of the 2-starred items. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can handle Zev, who did play a lot recently and has a big knowledge of the 2-starred environment. Now, we did see Monkey going for a what is it called? The spear book that provides it generates spears, so it's a little greedy. Yeah, we do switch over to Monkey's perspective here. So he got a 1-starred refined spear, which is a pretty fun play, I think. He can do all kinds of things with that. Okay, he does get the Elvish Orb, which can be very nice when you can stack up multicast on that refined spear. Yeah, it seems like he keeps copying the refined spear here. Maybe he wants to go for like a 2-starred refined spear. Yeah, buff it up with the how to grow. Oh, interesting. He actually puts the Elvish Orb on the How to Grow. That's like almost even more greedy than just putting it on the Refined Spear. So How to Grow does buff up damage of the Refined Spear. Giving that book multicast will obviously give it more damage, but now he did delay himself 1 round from starting to buff up multicast on the Refined Spear. Okay, what do we have here? We have the Elder and the Potion Market. He does pick the Elder, which is a bit more tempo, I would say, at least if he picks the Instant Knowledge. Okay, does get a Time Pendant. Yeah, it seems like Monkey is going all in on a Refined Spear build here. He did get the 2-star Refined Spear now, which is very nice. It does gain damage at start of combat. So that is some pretty good. Seems like both of these guys are going for some tempo build here. Not well, a little bit greedy, but mostly tempo. A little bit of greed, but mostly tempo, definitely. Oh, we see the lost frag here from Monkey. That's kind of huge. Is he gonna keep the spear book though? I would have probably sold it. Yeah, seems like he is gonna get rid of it now, putting in the 1-star Bone Club for more damage and tempo. Now, one thing that is important to remember is that when you're playing a live 1v1, you can win even though you don't get 10 trophies. Normally in Oaken Tower, you need to get 10 trophies, but when you are playing a live 1v1, you can also win by eliminating your opponent, okay? So that means if, for example, if Monkey goes down to 0 hearts, he will meet Muriel, he will get revived, and then if he dies again, he will be out of the game. And then Zeb will win regardless of how many trophies he has. Now, we did switch perspective over to Zev here. He got a holy tag on an item. On day 4, he got the Lifeguard Shield, which he sold that one. He's going for some super greed here. Time Pendant, which does go down to 1 second from the Dreamcatcher. Did buff up the crit of that Bone Club, the 2-star Bone Club. So the Bone Club gains damage on trigger because it's 2-starred. And now it also got crit from the 1-starred Spyglass. Oh, it seems like he made that one holy. Yeah, okay, so now he can trigger it with the Holy Sigil. That is kind of crazy. Yeah, Zev did say that he apologized that some of the sound did mute here in the first game. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, it seems like Monkey is going for more multicast. He has a double Elvish Orb, which is super greedy. He did win even though he's going double Elvish here, which is crazy. Zev finds Carmen and Master Alderos. So Alderos is more tempo, Carmen is much more greedy with the lucky rolls, takes time to ramp up the value, but he does go for Master Alderos tempo with the Holy Sigil upgrade. Very interesting. So Monkey has Celestia and Count Vlado. 2 very interesting options. Wish from Celestia can be used to upgrade Refined Spear to 3 stars, but it does take 2 days. So we're gonna have to see. No, he did pick Vlado here with the 1-starred Night Quill. Very nice. So the reason he picked this item is because the 2-starred Refined Spear has start of combat gain damage. Now it gains much more damage with the Night Quill because it makes start of combat effects trigger extra times. So with the 1-starred Night Quill, it's 2 extra times. Gains much more damage on that Refined Spear. It has 234 now with 4 multi. Oh, he found a, what was that, a Warhorn, which he sold. Yeah, he doesn't have any crit, so that makes sense. I was about to say, didn't he stack crit on that Refined Spear? But no, that was Zev, who stacked crit on the Bone Club. Both of these guys are going for a common item 2-starred build, which I absolutely love. I think that is so fun to see. Not really any counter plays going on right now because, well, they're basically just both going for some pretty crazy tempo builds. But I really like these common items, just buff up this single item as much as possible builds. So it's pretty fun to see both players going for that. Now, we are at day 10. which means we are 1 day away from the bishop, where some lucky rolls will be available, or some free rerolls. So we're gonna have to see what the players are gonna choose here. Now, we get a lot of info from the plays that both Monkey and Zev makes, because obviously they are #1 in the world right now, and #2, right? So watching these plays gives us some insight on what the optimal strategies are. Now, we just see actually both players trying to out-tempo the other. And it does seem like Zev had a lot more damage there, mainly because he stacked crit on the Bone Club. That is what makes the entire difference here. But yeah, there's the bishop, and it is a new encounter. It's very new for both of these players. Seeing some lucky rolls from Monkey here. There weren't actually any good lucky rolls there. But he does have a few chests he can open. We can see if he gets some other stuff. Oh, a treasure chest is very nice. Gives him another triple reward. Okay, he doesn't really get much here. The Sapphire Amulet. Yeah, he hovers that one because it's a new item. He probably hasn't played since it got released. But yeah, he doesn't have any crit now. The Sapphire Amulet, obviously, increases the crit damage from items. Would have been extremely good if it was Zev who did stack crit on his common item. But right now, if Monkey loses this one, it's actually over. You can see that by the skull there at the top. It means if he loses, he is out. Now, can he do it? No, he can't. Okay, so Zev actually beats Monkey here in the first game. And GG. Wow, okay, that's crazy. Both of these guys going for pretty similar builds. Some very tempo-oriented build, but it does seem like Zev came out on top, mainly due to the crit stacking. Very insightful to see how important crit is in a tempo build like this, in early tempo. So we're going to go into game 2. Now, Monkey, obviously doing Monkey stuff. Triple 15 gold common item against Zev. Zev did pick up a common shield, which is very good, the sturdy shield. Extremely good early game, but it's not quite enough against triple item here. As well as the moon knife, which is, you know, not that good, but it does give some XP, which is extremely good. So it's a little more greedy option. Speaking of greed, though, Monkey did take a brass knife here to generate some gold, and that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it can generate a maximum of 15 gold, and obviously many of the early days are pretty slow, so you do get the full 15 gold value there, and Monkey definitely also got that. Picking the right option. Seems like both players agree that the right option is the way to go currently. That is super insightful to see, also for me as a dev, what I have to balance out. But yeah, Zev going for another moon knife here. So it is a level 3 to level 2 advantage. You can see that on the health bar. But the increased damage output and tempo from Monkey is gonna succeed here. Now Zev kind of wants to turn this around soon to keep some of his lives. Otherwise, he might be tempoed down by Monkey. Does pick a goblet, which is definitely nothing in regards of tempo. Oh, but the runic shield, though, that is a pretty good tempo play. There is a ward binder there. Is he going to pick up the ward binder for that runic shield? He also has a sturdy shield. That would be an interesting play, and he does. Okay, so the ward binder triggers adjacent shields. You can see that on the arrow indicators. And yeah, the runic shield just applies a lot of debuffs. It basically applies all debuffs in the game that there currently is. And it does have one multicast, so it triggers 2 times on trigger. And it is enough here for Zev to come out on top, so that is very interesting. There's also the new item, which is the nugget. It provides gold every 3 triggers. And it's super nice to combine that with the ward binder because, well, the ward binder makes the nugget trigger more often, providing more gold. There is another nugget there, which he does pick up. Okay, so now he triggers double nugget with the runic shield. So we are seeing some shield shenanigans here from Zev, and Monkey is going full on greed, which he kind of is allowed to do now that he got some early wins. He has lives to spare, so he is sacrificing some rounds to get some gold. 15 and 21 there from the Brass Knife and Midas Diary. So yeah, it's a greedy play from Monkey at least. He's going for some more greed this game than last game. But we will find out whether or not it will pay off. So Zev does upgrade the nugget, which is interesting. So it's a 1-star nugget, regular nugget, and there is the triple runic shield. Okay, so that gives twice as much burn, bleed, and poison. Oh, he didn't calculate it. 45 gold. He sold some items. Now he has 42, which is exactly enough to level up. It's perfectly calculated, actually. Okay, yeah, so he did freeze that in the shop, which is perfect. And let's see if the debuffs are enough here. Oh, it's definitely enough. He even has 1,000 shield. So Monkey is going full gold build, dude. 30 gold, 29 gold, 29 and 15. He even has a 1-star goblet. Yeah, okay, this is it's gonna be rough for Zev if he doesn't win very quickly now, because with the amount of gold that Monkey has accumulated at this point, he's gonna be able to do some crazy build if he starts switching into some crazy build that he can hopefully find in the shop. But Zev is looking for the 2-star nugget, which he didn't find. Oh, speaking of 2-star though, there's a 2-star brass knife, and Monkey just gets, you know, sucked more and more into this loophole of greed and gold items. If he doesn't switch pretty soon, he's gonna have a rough time. He has 1 heart left now. He does have Muriel, which will revive him 1 time. And yeah, it does seem like he realizes now I have to start winning, otherwise I can't, you know, utilize my 500 gold for anything. So he did pick up a flamey war axe, which is known for being a good tempo item. Now, is it enough versus the 1-starred runic shield though? I am not quite sure. Maybe it is. Okay, he does give it multicast, which is great. But he might want to start getting more multi, or even upgrading it to 1-star if you want to out-tempo Zev with this pretty crazy shield build. He even has 2 ward binders. Oh, it's so close actually. Wow. Oh, wow, it's so close. That's crazy. 192 health. Zev does take the victory. Oh, that's huge for Zev. That's huge. Like, if Monkey, like, all Monkey needs now is just a few rounds to, like, turn his gold build into some crazy build. Okay, he does go up to 4 hearts, which gives him 2 whole rounds to try and do that. But hopefully it's going to be enough for him, but we're going to have to see. Now, Zev is looking very desperately for that last nugget there. He wants to gain the 2-star nugget, which would be great, because if he does get the 2-star nugget, both of the ward binders can trigger that 2-star nugget, and it's gonna be crazy. Oh, Monkey did get the 1-star flamey war axe though. Okay, that is pretty huge. That might give Monkey the victory here, if I can calculate anything. It's pretty strong tempo item as a 1-star, and yeah, it's gonna be more than enough here. Absolutely. And you can see the health difference as well, 12,000 to 7,000 in Zev's case, and that is because of all the gold that Monkey had. He could level a bit more aggressively. So there's a 2-star runic shield for Zev, which is great, but he is still looking for that nugget. We're gonna have to see. He is getting a lost frac on the ward binder, which is very good. Yeah, he is definitely looking for the 1-star ward binder as well. Now, it doesn't seem like Monkey did much here, but he did get a protector, which is great. Now, this is the counter place I was talking about earlier. So, Monkey opted in for a protector, which removes debuffs. Now, the sheer amount of debuffs is just absolutely too huge for Monkey to handle, but he is doing the absolutely correct thing here by getting a protector. Now we did switch over to Monkey's perspective here. I would hope for Monkey that he finds 2 more protectors, and he should absolutely give it multicast. Yeah, he sold everything now. This is his last life, so he cannot lose any more rounds. Now, yeah, he does... Oh, he switches to a redemption here. That is an interesting play. Both of them are 1-starred, but I think the protector is just so good against Zev's build, right? He knows exactly what Zev is going for. So I would assume that the protector would be good, but oh, he does take out the protector. He's hoping now that the redemption is going to be enough. Oh, he has a lot of multi. You know what? It might be enough, honestly. Oh god, that 1,000 poison, 2,000 poison, and burn, but he heals. No, it's not enough. No, it's not enough, Monkey. Monkey is out. Oh god, the runic shield has 50 of all the debuffs, 4 multicast as 2-star, and on trigger it permanently gains a random debuff. Oh god, with the 1-star ward binder that has multicast from the Lost Fragment. What a crazy build from both players. If Monkey had had 1 more round to scale that redemption, it would have been crazy. And that's the 1v1, guys. Huge congratulations to Zev for winning, and if you want to try out Oaken Tower for yourself, you can try out the open beta. It's free on Steam, and I'll link it down in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.